When the beat drops, you know exactly what time it is. Hello and welcome into another episode of The Blitz. I am Evan Closky, joined alongside my partner in the trenches, as always.
That was horrible. I played safety. I didn't play lineman for a reason.
No, the 3-tech ain't for you. All right, but I'm joined right now with David Schiele. We're talking primetime football.
Primetime football, Bucs, Rams, Sunday night football. This should be a good one, Evan. We got a great show lined up for you. Talking about Baker Mayfield's return to L.A., the defensive debacle in Buffalo, the potential for a new RB1, plus our predictions and parlay of the week.
So let's get to it. This is the 10 and 10, the 10 most important topics you need to know before kickoff from SoFi Stadium. At number 10, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are taking on the hottest team in the NFC, with the LA Rams riding a 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay is doing that mid-season slump thing again, as they have lost 3 of the last 4 games. This will be the 30th meeting between the two organizations, with the Bucs 10-19 all-time against this franchise. Now, the last time these two played was in 2022, and it was a classic Tom Brady fourth-quarter comeback. With 9 seconds left, the GOAT hits a rookie by the name of Cade Otton for the game-winning score. The Bucs won that contest inside Ray J, 16-13.
It was payback for what the Rams did 10 months earlier. One of the greatest teams in Buccaneers history bounced from the postseason thanks to Matthew Stafford's cover zero bomb to Cooper Kupp over Antoine Winfield Jr. The LA Rams went on to win the Super Bowl that season. The St. Louis Rams won it all back in 1999, beating the Bucs in the NFC Championship game. That was another heartbreaking loss of the franchise, which is famously remembered for the Burt Emanuel rule. At number 9, Kurt Warner won the NFL MVP that season for the Rams. Matthew Stafford just might do it this year for the franchise. The 37-year-old has thrown 22 touchdowns with 0 picks in his last 7 games. Stafford can join Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers as the only players in NFL history with at least 30 touchdown passes and 5 or fewer interceptions in the team's first 11 games of the season.
Is that good?
That's pretty good. Go Dogs, by the way. At number 8, Stafford will see his former teammate Baker Mayfield this weekend. After getting cut by the Carolina Panthers, Sean McVay took a chance on Baker in 2022 with his team sitting at 3-9.
We all remember this, right? Baker had 48 hours to learn the Rams playbook before playing on Thursday Night Football against the Raiders. The team was down 16-3 in the fourth quarter, but Mayfield leads back-to-back scoring drives, capped off by a 98-yard masterpiece in the waning moments of that game. The following season, he signed with Tampa Bay in the offseason, and the rest was history.
There's no way for me to, sugarcoat it. It was pivotal in my career, in my journey. I've told you guys it helped me find the football, or the fun in football again, that joy. It was instrumental in my career, something I'm forever grateful for, and it'll be fun to go back and see some familiar faces.
Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, heck, even Mac Jones are just a handful of recent success stories where former first-round picks who were quote-unquote busts, are now thriving with another team.
Yeah, I love to see it. And I know Kyle Trask was a second-rounder for the Buccaneers, but he's getting a second shot in the league. He was signed by the Falcons this week, placed on the practice squad.
And before we continue, we just want to say congrats to the Mayfield family. Baker and his wife Emily announced they are expecting a second child. Kova will now be a big sister, as the couple will welcome a boy to the world sometime around April. Baker said, in the most Baker way possible, I'm going to have a little expletive head on my hands. We call that karma. Yeah. And number 7, let's give a shout out to a quarterback's best friends, the offensive line and running backs. The rushing attack has looked so much better since Luke Gedicke's return. 202 yards last week in Buffalo, also 5.4 yards per carry against New England the week before. Plus, how about that game from Sean Tucker? 140 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that's without Ben Bredeson, who will miss another game this week. Josh Grizzard says Tucker has earned the right to more carries, especially with Bucky Irving not coming back yet. And speaking of Bucky, Todd Bowles said this week he didn't handle the injury well because it was the first time in his career he was hurt just like that. And multiple reports indicate mental health has been an important part of the rehab process back to the field. While he will not play this weekend, Bowles said he is trending up for the Cardinals game next week at home.
And that is good news. At number 6, while Bucky remains out, it looks like we will see Chris Godwin Jr. back on the field, and they need him. This has been a different group since Mike Evans left the field in Detroit. Last week, the receiver room had 10 catches for 100 yards. Against New England, 13 receptions for 177 yards. In New Orleans, 9 receptions, 86 yards. Emeka Egbuka needs some more help out there, and hopefully Godwin Jr. helps in that regard. At number 5, let's talk about the explosives on the other side of the ball, because it has been a tough watch for the defense. In the first 6 games of the year, Tampa Bay gave up 3 touchdowns that went 25-plus yards, but in the last 4 games, the team has allowed 8 of those plays. More than half of them have been north of 50 yards, Evan. Oh, my goodness. The 44 points allowed in Buffalo is the most by a Todd Bowles-led defense in his entire tenure with the Buccaneers. Big, big problem.
I'm embarrassed every time we lose. But from a defensive standpoint, we didn't play well. We had a stinker. You know, it happens. This league humbles you. Every now and then you're going to have something that messes up. As coaches, we can definitely do a better job. As players, we can do a better job. And we didn't play well. We didn't coach well. That's really all that sums it up to.
The defense won't have Hassan Reddick and Jamel Dean this weekend, which won't help. But at least we have James Yarko with the Locked On Bucs podcast. And James, what are you most concerned with as we move into the back half of the season, the offense or the defense?
I think I'm definitely more concerned about the defense at this stage in the game. We've gone over the injuries on the offensive side over and over and over because it's been an ongoing story since August. But when you take a look at the defense and kind of the ups that they had this year, and now they're as down as they have been, they are bleeding explosive plays, and they don't seem to have an answer for these top tier teams that they're going up against. I mean, the Bucs defense this season, 24th in yards per play, 27th in pass yards per game, 26th in goal to go efficiency, 27th in red zone efficiency. They're just not getting the job done. So when you move into this latter third of the season, it's going to look like the defense is getting better. It's going to look like they're getting right against the Cardinals and the Saints and the Panthers, and you have the Dolphins. But then once you get into the postseason, you're going to go up against teams like the Eagles or the Rams or the Lions, and that's when this defense has really, truly struggled the most. So I'm concerned about them going forward. We know they have the talent and we know they have the coaching to be able to get the job done, but we need to see it this Sunday against the Rams if we're going to believe that they can do it in January.
Thank you so much, James. And number 4, I didn't even ask him about special teams because the concern there is obvious. The kickoff coverage was in shambles against the Bills. It's so sad when the coach has to come out saying, yeah, kicking it out of bounds would have been better than whatever we saw out there Sunday. Bowles said special teams, quote, killed them last week. And David, I have never looked at more special teams film than I have this season. At the beginning of the year, it was missed field goals. Then we moved to blocked punts, then bad punts, then blocked field goals. And now the kickoff coverage stinks. It's a mess.
Yeah, it's bad. And I will say in Tampa Bay's defense, they have lost some key special teamers due to injury, but those injuries cannot cover up the issues of this unit. In the wins against Atlanta, Houston, and New York, the team overcame special teams woes. In the losses to Philadelphia and Buffalo, they were not as lucky. Tampa Bay plays a lot of close games, so there is nowhere for this unit to hide, and it is inexcusable at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, and I know fans want to see more of those dirty kicks, which is where, you have the line drives from McLaughlin where the ball bounces, but the Bucs staff believes that could create some consequences for his field goal attempts, so it is what it is. Luckily for them, the Rams are not a great special team squad either, so maybe that won't be as much of a factor on Sunday Night Football, but it'd be bad.
You can hope, right? At number 3, thankfully, the Buccaneers will see Aaron Donald on Sunday night, just not in his jersey. That is great news. The team is honoring his career with the franchise. He will be a Hall of Famer soon, and we think Levante David should be one as well. With 2 more tackles for a loss, David would actually surpass Donald for the 3rd most TFLs since the data has been tracked starting in 2008.
As for the offense, at number 2, it starts with Puka Nacua, who is having another unbelievable season for this team. His 94 yards per game ranks 2nd in the league. So if it starts with Puka, it ends with Davante Adams. He leads the league with 10 touchdowns in 10 games played. Because Mike Evans got hurt this season, Adams now has 7 more scores in his career than the Bucs legend. I also want you to take notice of LA's personnel usage Sunday night. Sean McVay has fallen in love with 13 personnel, meaning he has 3 tight ends on the field at once. And it's a big reason why the Rams are thriving. The Rams run 13 personnel on more than 18% of offensive plays. The league average, 4.5%. And it will leave Todd Bowles in a tough position. Do you match with big bodies or do you play the down and distance tendencies? Keep an eye on this Sunday and don't be surprised to see more defensive backs on the field, even with Jamel Dean hurt.
Finally, at number 1, the Bucs are playing in prime time, which usually means bad results for this team. The squad picked up a dub in Houston earlier this year, but still, this has not been a good spot for Todd Bowles, who is 6-12 all-time with the Bucs in standalone games. 4 of those wins came with Tom Brady under center, by the way. So if we just talk about the Baker Mayfield era, the Bucs have 2 wins in 11 tries.
Not ideal. Time for the all-out blitz. And as always, we begin with our parlay of the week. My pick is Cade Otton over 36.5 yards. The Rams have been terrible against the tight end these past 2 games. I think Otton can keep with that theme.
As for my pick, I'm going Sean Tucker, anytime touchdown. Keep feeding that man after the game in Buffalo. As for the both of us, we agreed to take Kyren Williams over 12.5 receiving yards. So let's round that all up, and it is plus 800.
Juicy. As for what's on 10 Tampa Bay, it's only 1 game this week, and it's a biggie in the AFC. Indianapolis heading to Kansas City to take on a desperate David Chiefs team. Checking out our Blitz picks records. You want to talk about desperate? Look at this guy over here. David took a chance last week and was wrong, so I am 7-3. David is 4-6. I got a commanding lead, and I will go first once again. I think you're going to have a much better performance from this Buccaneers defense. I do not think they're going to lay an egg here, nor do I think they're going to win either. I have the Rams 24-19 in this one, but I believe we'll walk away from this game saying the defense played well. They might be on the right track. The offense still looks a bit off. I'm not counting out the upset, but I just have to make the Rams my pick.
So I'm not even trying to catch up to Evan at this point in the standings. I think you've got it this year. I'm going to give up like the Falcons should. I've had viewers applauding me for picking the Bucs, and guess what? They've been losing. So guess what? I'm going to pick the Rams to win 27-23, but watch Tampa Bay win this time because, of course.
Yeah, why
right?
not? Because we're both picking against them.
Yeah.
Look, thank you so much for joining us on The Blitz. Enjoy a day with family because you're going to have to settle down at night to watch this one. Next week, Simeon Rice goes into the Ring of Honor. For David Schiele, I'm Evan Closky. This is The Blitz. We will see you same time or same place next weekend.